And before we get out of here, I was sent a video of that lady over there trying to explain herself about Cash App.
A few moments later.
I want to tell y'all something. And this is just a broad statement. If I if I showed you something that was supposed to be a receipt from a particular platform, if the memo says amount exceeded, you can look that term up per that app or platform or institution or whatever, and you can see what the meaning of that is. So, generally speaking, if you're on Cash App and it says amount exceeded, that means that it couldn't be sent because that exceeds the amount that's allowed. Also, you should know that Cash App has sender limits and receiver limits. You can only receive a certain amount of money per week. You can only withdraw a certain amount of money per week. You can only send out a certain amount of money per week. And I don't believe it exceeds $10,000. You cannot send 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. You cannot send that across Cash App. It's what that amount exceeds what they allow. So it is not possible for someone to send you 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $70,000 on a platform like Cash App. So there's that. Okay. So, child.
A few moments later.
Baby, let me tell you something. We know about Cash App. We know about what you can exceed and what you can't exceed the dollar amount. It's safe to say that everybody in here uses Cash App. We know the amount of monies that you can get per day or per week. We know all about that. It's the simple fact that, hey, why is it that we see an actual document and it's showing that someone tried to even try to send you that amount of money? That is what is in question. We don't need you to explain to us the rules and regulations of Cash Out. We already know that. There's nothing that you need to explain there. And to be quite frank, did you or did you not, in my opinion, did you or did you not just break your gag order? You're talking about the case. No one knew about this other than it being in the court documents, which have to do with your case. So are you speaking on your case? You know you're not supposed to be doing that. And for her to word it in such a way as a broad statement, you still talking about your case that you have a gag order on. But what do I know? But we'll see what the court has to say. Now, again, y'all have a good one. Be tuned in for the Caesars transcripts, and we're gonna get into some things. I'll make sure I start over from the beginning. Now, due to the simple fact that I'm putting this on YouTube as well, y'all know I have to speak. Just to let y'all know, I gotta speak in my corporate voice. I can't be cussing too much because y'all know how YouTube is. They don't want to monetize a nigga or something. But at the end of the day, I'm not even there yet. I'm not at the threshold yet to be monetized. But to get there, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we see through the bullshit. And what I don't like is people trying to seem like we're biased and shit like that. We're not biased. We're the ones that was in the fucking chats when the shit was going down. We're the ones that can look at the court document. And by Frank, we're the ones that's reading the motherfucking deposition and saying that shit didn't happen. We're the ones to say, hey, I have a fucking audio clip of that day. I remember that day. I was in the motherfucking chat that day. That ain't how the fuck that went down. Yes, I will. I will talk about the, you know what I will do? What I'm going to do is I'll touch bases at the beginning of Malagro's deposition. If anybody wants me to read it, I'll say, okay, I'll come back at a later time to read that. That's 600 pages. I was talking yesterday. I didn't even realize I was about to hit 5 hours. I was just talking. I thought it was 2 hours. I see y'all in the chat talking about, hey, Cody, you need to end this live and start it again. I didn't even realize I was hitting 5 hours. It was that juicy. It was that goddamn juicy. But if they want me to reread over it, I will. I'll do that on spaces. However, what I'll do is I'll talk about some key points that I saw, and somebody brought it to my attention because, again, I started towards the 200 page mark. They said, hey, Cody, did you see where she talked about making $6,300 a month on Station Head and a few thousand from Twitch? I totally missed over that part. So for y'all, like I said, I don't know if that's true. That's what I was told. Somebody, said, "Hey, did you see that part?" But like I said, I started on page 200 because I was just trying to see what it was talking about. But I need to go back to the first 200 pages to see where she brought that up of her monthly income. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna do it right here. Fuck it. Y'all ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. I got time today, cuz. So we gonna do it right the fuck now. Let's look at this shit right now. I'm gonna flip through that page and I'm gonna find it when they talked about her income. So y'all give me 1 second. I just want to validate if that's true.
A few moments later.
And when it comes down to it, when you lead with integrity, you never have to worry about somebody questioning your loyalty or your intentions.